The 2011 NFL Draft. This draft produced persons like Cam Newton, Von Miller, Julio Jones, Patrick Pearson, just to name a few. Those were all taken in the first round. Top 10 picks. But whatever happened to the last five persons selected in 2011 NFL Draft? We will first start with pick number 249, DeMarco Sampson, wide receiver out of San Diego State. First, for a little context, DeMarco Sampson is 34 years old. He was born in 1985 and is from Chula Vista, California. And he went to Chula Vista Castle Park High School. And like I said earlier, he went to San Diego State. Now we'll start with a little bit of his general college career. It says here that he appeared in all 12 games, recording 6 receptions for 60 yards and a touchdown. In 2006 and 2007, however, he was out injured, missing both of those seasons. In 2008, he appeared in 11 games as a reserve, catching 11 passes for 111 yards and 1 touchdown. In 2009, however, he got back his starting spot. He accumulated 62 receptions for 851 yards and 8 touchdowns. He, as a result, was awarded second team All-Mountain West Conference honors. And then he returned to school for his 6th year of eligibility. 6 years. That's one long person in college. He had a career year, catching 67 passes for 1,220 yards and 8 touchdowns. As a result, he was first team All-Mountain Conference by the coaches there. Now on his professional career. He signed with the Arizona Cardinals with pick 249, I saw earlier. Now, one thing I must mention, these are coming from Wikipedia, so there may be pieces missing, and if you know any pieces, you can drop them down in the comments, but I'm trying to do what I can with what the available sources after me. So, the next piece of information I have here is that he signed with the Buffalo Bills on May 30th, 2013. I'm assuming he spent 2 years with the Arizona Cardinals. Now when he was with the Bills, like I said, he was signed on May 30th, 2013. On August 26, 2013, he was cut by the Bills. So that'll be about preseason, just before the regular season starts. On January 2nd, 2014, he signed with the Los Angeles Kiss of the Arena Football League. On May 13th, 2014, he was activated from the other league exempt list. Speaking of other leagues, he was signed by the 49ers on January 14, 2014. He was then waived on May 12th, which will explain why on May 13th he was activated from the other league exempt list, which I'm assuming is what the arena leagues do for their players who are under contract. Now, like I see here, as for his career stats, in the NFL, these are all regular season stats, by the way. so preseason doesn't count, which where more of his stats would come from. He recorded 3 receptions for 36 yards. Now, as for arena football stats, he did way better. He recorded 75 receptions for 871 yards and 10 touchdowns. He also was a returner, having 451 return yards and 1 return touchdown. So that's all for DeMarco Sampson. Now, the next person, let me make something clear. The 5th person, or the person I should just said, should have been Curtis Holcomb of Florida A&M. However, I'm not seeing significant information there. If information presents itself, I could drop it in the comments or make another video, or even add it to other ones I'm doing later. So that's why I put DeMarco Sampson, because technically he was the 6th last player as opposed to the 5th as I have it now. Just making that clear. Now, pick 251. The Tennessee Titans selected Tommy Campbell out of California, PA. Now just a little bit about his college career. In case you're wondering, California, PA stands for California University of Pennsylvania, which is located in Pennsylvania. Weird name, but I'm not questioning. The school itself is a Division II school. And again, they play in the town of California, Pennsylvania. That's why it's called that, just to make sure we're clear. No, but that was not where he started. He actually ended up at 3 universities. He first played at Pitt, or University of Pittsburgh, from 2005 to 2006. Then he was at Edinboro University of Pennsylvania, which itself is a Division II school. And then he was at, like I said, California, PA in 2010. Now there's some years missing here, let me explain. Academic problems ended his playing career at Pitt and Edinboro, and he was working as a janitor at Pittsburgh International Airport from 2008 to 2009. Now stop. Let's picture this for a second. This should tell you how much this person grinded to get this spot. First of all, 2005 was when he started his college career. He missed several years, 2008 to 2009, and then he was playing Division II ball. And all of that, and he was actually able to get drafted. I want to always give him a clap. Let's give him a good clap. Round of applause. Let's do it. He appeared in all 12 games that California, PA played. And this is what his coach said, which should tell you something about the guy. One of the things he said was that cleaning toilets at 12 o'clock at night really got his attention. That's what Campbell himself said about California and PA. Cal gave me another shot at pursuing my dream, which is to be a success in the NFL. Now there's another thing that should tell you how good he is. He wasn't just good at Cal PA. He was one of only 8 Division II players to participate in the 2011 Eastern Energy All-Star Game in Arizona. He was also part He also participated in the Cactus Bowl, which is a Division II All-Star game. Now here's where it got interesting. I'm sure y'all wondering, well, how did he get drafted? I mean, he missed all this time. This could be it. He ran a 4.3.1.40. Now, let me picture this. A 4.3.1.40. Where in the NFL combine, you're hearing people going about 4.4s and 4.35. This might run a 4.3.1. I'm just saying. He ranked third among the 300 plus prospects at the event. Now let's get on to professional career. Like I said, he was selected by Tennessee Titans in the 7th round of the 2011 draft. Very interesting. In week 3 against the Detroit Lions, Darius Reynolds, another player, caught a punt and threw a lateral to Campbell. Remember, this is Tennessee Titans. What does that play remind you of? The Music City Miracle. And Titans won that game 44-41. However, he was able, first off, round pace is very good. He was able to last 3 years on his team and was only released on August 29th, 2014. So 3 years. Now he was able to find another team. He signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars after a season-ending injury to another cornerback on their roster, and Mr. Alan Ball. He was then waived on August 29, 2015, so not that long. Then my man decides my professional career is now over. Even though the NFL kind of cut my dream, I'll go and play in the CFL. I'll play there. In his first season in the CFL, he started in all 18 games and had 71 defensive tackles, including a TFL, or tackle for loss, 1 special teams tackle, 3 interceptions, and 9 knockdowns or pass deflections, whatever you want to call them. One of them was a game-winning interception in overtime against the BC Lions. He also returned some punt returns. He did a bunch of everything. He was named a West Division All-Star. Now, think about this for a second. His story is actually very important. Here's a man who in college nearly flunked up for himself working as a janitor, grinded, got a last chance, and was able to not only parlay into 3 to 4 years in the NFL, but was then able to spend time in Canada, where he is still playing now. Kind of a spoiler alert to the end, but he is still playing now. Just think about this. He is 32 years old and is still playing professionally. Here's where it gets very interesting. His career nearly was over. In 2017, January 24th to be exact, he turned himself into police custody. Now, why would he do that? It turns out he was charged with multiple drug-related charges. The police suspected he was selling drugs off his residence in Pennsylvania at a town whose name I cannot pronounce, and whose name I will not try to pronounce. However, the charges were dropped, his record was clear, and he came back to the Calgary Stampeders. No, he was a free agent, and he was viewed as one of the top free agents on the market, because he was able to make sure that no wide receiver who he was covering in 2017 scored a touchdown. Think about this. no wide receiver at any point in time did score a touchdown on Campbell. Lockdown. That's saying lockdown. He signed with the Montreal Alouettes, and he continued doing these fun things. He didn't have the best season as compared to what we had in Calgary. 38 tackles, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble in the 17 games he was playing. Now he and the rest of the defense had a reputation for being ball hawks. So it was kind of sad that Montreal itself never actually made the playoff, finishing 5-13 because Canada plays 18 games. Now I'm sure you're saying, well, you say he's playing 17 games early, but no, he's playing 18 games. It turns out his coach, Mike Sherman, suspended him for a single game for, get this, not buckling a chin strap at practice earlier in the week. I'll just leave that there. No, nothing to say there. No, he continued playing stellar. In 2019, he forced 3 turnovers in the first 4 games, which is really good. And he just continued and doing his thing. He was released by the Montreal Alouettes January 31st, 2020. But get this, his career is not over. On February the 5th, just a week or 2 later, he signed with the Toronto Argonauts. So right here, if you want to look so far at who had the best pro career so far, it has to go to Campbell. It just has to. Mr. Tommy Campbell has to go with him. Now the next person here, give me a minute. Mr. Bill Nagy, center from Wisconsin. He's from Hudson, Ohio, and he went to Wisconsin. Now this story may be a little shorter. And at Wisconsin, he started only 3 games in his first 3 years, so he wasn't a 4-year starter as some other players may have been, which I'm sure hurt his draft stock. In 2009, he played in 3 games before suffering an off-the-field injury in a moped accident. Then as a senior, he started 8 of Wisconsin's 13 games at 3 different positions: guard, center, and tight end. Now, that could have been one of the reasons why he was drafted. We don't exactly know. But it'll be very good for a team to have a person who can play guard, center, even emergency tight end. But anywho, now here's the thing. His story is not very, his professional career is a very short one. Not kind of a nice story. Well, I'll just say. He was selected by the Dallas Cowboys. He started 4 games at that part of his rookie season, which is a good part. But then he suffered a fractured ankle and was placed on injury reserve on October 18th in 2011. Then in training camp 2012, he suffered a severe strain on the same ankle he fractured. And then the Cowboys waived him with the intention of placing him on reserve on IR. But then the Detroit Lions claimed him off of waivers because and they knew they were not going to be able to get him for the whole season, the whole 2012 season. On January 24th, 2013, he was released again because he was not able to recover from his ankle injury. So like I said, it's a very sad story. Here's a person who never got a lot of opportunities in his first years in college. He was kind of versatile, but then he had some injury. He re-injured that one ankle. just kept re-injuring it. It was very sad. So that's his story. Now, the last two. At the end, this we're gonna look and see who has had the best pro career out of all. I think we know the answer, but we're not finished yet. There are two persons left. We have Chris Hilda, a defensive tackle out of West Virginia. He's from Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and went to school at West Virginia. Now, before I start, let's just look at his total regular season performances. He had 16 tackles and 2 sacks, which is good. And he played from 2011 to 2015. Here we have some measurables from his combine. He's 6'2", or he was 6'2". We don't know if he lost any height. 319 pounds. He bench pressed 30 reps and had a broad jump of 8 feet 10 inches. Now, like I said here now, he was drafted in 7th round by the Washington Redskins. He then went from a defensive tackle to nose tackle. Now, if you're wondering what's the difference, it has to do with the defensive scheme. If the defense is playing a 4-3, which is where they have 4 defensive linemen and 3 linebackers, he would be a defensive tackle. If the defense is playing a 3-4 scheme where there's 3 defensive linemen and 4 linebackers, he will be a nose tackle. The nose tackle is normally the biggest of the defensive linemen in a 3-4 set. So clearly Washington was doing a 3-4 set rather than a 4-3, which he would have been doing at West Virginia. In week 1 of 2011, he made his debut. So first of all, congrats on making the 53-man roster. That can be very difficult. Then he actually made his debut where he recorded 1.5 sacks, which would be 1 solo sack, and then a sack that he and another person shared. So the person got half on Eli Manning. He played in all 16 games. He was backup nose tackle to a man named Barry Caulfield. Then in 2012, here's the same. He was supposed to competing for a roster spot, and based on his experience in 2011, I have confidence he probably made it. But then he tore his anterior cruciate ligament, also known as your ACL. Now, tearing your ACL is not good. That can be some death for NFL careers, but however, not yet. Then the Redskins waived injured. What it essentially means is that the team, they cut you. However, if you are not claimed by another team, the team intends to put you on injured reserve. He was not claimed by another team, and the Redskins placed him on injured reserve. In 2013, he came back. He was the backup nose tackle and played for a total of 8 games, so again, decent rotation in. And then, here comes the sad part. In 2014, in the final preseason game, when he was going all out trying to get out of the last roster spot, he suffered a right leg injury. Pretty basic. However, that right leg injury turned out to be his right ACL. So picture this. This man tore both ACLs, his left one and his right one. Just picture that. In 2015, he signed with the Houston Texans on July 31st and was waived a month later. That is the end of his pro career. It's just a shame that he tore both ACLs. I think if he didn't tear his ACL, he could have had a longer career than he actually did. Now, the last person, Mr. Irrelevant. No, how do I pronounce it? Cheetah Ozugowo. Again, I'm sorry for mispronouncing the name. He is from Houston, Texas. He went to Alif Taylor High School and went to college at Rice University. Now, his college career, he played at Rice while he amassed 197 total tackles and 11 sacks in his 4 years, which is very good. In 2007, he was the Conference USA, which was the conference that Rice plays in, freshman All-American. He's not dumb, also. You may think he's not just some dumb football player. He also won several academic awards. He was on ESPN's Academic All-District 6 football team after posting a 3.41 GPA while majoring in economics. So that's very commendable. He's smart. He's also good at football. And he continued with good academics as well. As a senior, he won the Outstanding Senior Award presented by the Rice Student Association for service, leadership, and academic achievement. Now, professional career. He was drafted with the last pick in the 7th round of 2011 NFL draft by the Houston Texans, which is very interesting because as you can remember, he is from Houston, so the local kid got picked up by his hometown team. In 2011, he made his first appearance in the NFL preseason game against the Jets on Monday Night Football, which is still Monday Night Football even with a preseason game, so congrats to him. In 2012, he signed with the Bears. I guess there's some information here is kind of scanty, but I'm going to assume that the Texans released him sometime in the course of that thing. In his preseason debut with the Broncos, he got a sack on Caleb Hanie. He had an outstanding preseason. He led the team in sacks for that preseason, which gave him with 3 sacks, which would mean that he actually made the coveted 53-man roster, which is very good. In the past 2 seasons, by past 2 seasons I mean 2013 and 2013 and 2012. He appeared in 9 games, recording 9 tackles, 1 sack, 1 TFL, 1 forced fumble, and 5 special teams tackles. So he was doing various things. He had a couple sacks, he played some special teams. Good. He was waived on August 15, 2014. On May 18, 2014, he signed with the Saints. On July 23rd, he was placed on IR with an undisclosed injury. And then in 2015, the next year, so he spent that entire season on IR. The Saints released him after he failed his season-ending physical with an undisclosed injury. We don't know what those injuries are, and it's a shame that was the end of his football career. Now, who had the best career of all those persons? After looking at the answer, it's Tommy James Campbell. Not only for his story and all his perseverance that he did, but for the simple fact that he's the only one of those persons who is still actively playing professional football. While it may be Canada, this is a person who is playing professional football at the 2nd highest level. And I think it's adequate and it's necessary that we respect his story, we understand it, and that we feel happy for him. So for Mr. Campbell, I wish you all the best of luck in your future NFL career. So that's all, folks. Next, I'll give y'all a choice. Either you want me to just stick with doing the NFL, or I can see if I can do the other major professional sports, not the MLB, because their draft schedule, because their draft is kind of hard to do with the large amount of picks and some lacking information on those. But sure, the NBA and the NHL, or do you want me to just do the NFL? If I just do the NFL, I'll go on to 2012 with the last 5 picks from there, and then go on all the way to about 2018. I will leave these last 2 years because we don't know what's gonna happen with those. So, good night, everyone. You'll be seeing me soon again. Good day. Have a good